Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be back doing a weekly reading. For those interested, wondering where I've been feeling awesome through my treatments. We have just been blissfully very busy. We're looking at colleges with our son, and I'm just really enjoying life and enjoying those moments when I just want to settle into the couch and watch the Patriots play and um, go on a visit to somewhere to see someone or get in the car and go do something fun with my husband. Um, I just am feeling the need to do that. So I can't really guarantee that I'll be on here every week. I do enjoy doing these readings though, because I get so much out of them, in addition to gifting them to those who feel called to listen. So today we are starting a powerful new cycle because we have the full moon in Aries, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. We will not have another full moon in Aries until October 1st of 2020. And so I'd like you to think about this as a cycle unto itself. And it is a cycle having to do with the element of fire and how we put ourselves out there as the warriors of our lives. With this full moon, it will be exact today on October 13th at 5:08 p.m. Eastern Time. And as I say, this will be a full cycle from now until October 1st of 2020. And this falls at Aries 21 is our Sabian symbol. And that reads, a pugilist enters the ring. This is about fire and power. And what I have seen in the energies that are playing out, both on a more global level, as well as sort of in my community, my region, as well as my personal life, not necessarily with, well, on some levels with me personally, but just personal connections that I have. There is a real, because remember, the full moon illumines something down deep that is ready to come up. It's a culmination point. It's when the moon is shining in the deep dark night and we see a lot of things that we've been pushing down. And the pugilist entering the ring, that's like dukes up, baby. It is being willing to, what I want to say is being willing to fight for what matters to you. But I feel like this cycle of Aries to Aries full moon is really a time of us redefining what fire really means. Because these events, these things that I've been seeing and energies that I've been picking up on, from a higher consciousness level, because it's always meaningful to me as things are coming in. It's like, oh, I'm starting to see the theme of that. Is that there's this robust wave of people like fighting for their right, and like in your face, kind of very aggressive energy, that feels like it's been maybe stuffed down for a while, and then it comes up and it barrels up out of people in such a way that is, to be honest, it's like people are missing their basic compassion. They forget that we are all humans, or that we are humans and animals. Everything in our world is living. They forget that we're all kind of interconnected. And most of all, I think one of the big humbling points for me in my personal life is when I take the time to put myself in somebody else's shoes and to say, I wonder how they feel. I wonder how I would feel if that was occurring for me. And I think that is part of what's getting retuned. So as we have the pugilist, this wave of aggression, and the word power is really big here, and like fighting. It is a fighting kind of a spirit. Across the way from a full moon is always the sun. That's what makes a full moon. So the sun is at Libra 21. So we're talking Aries and Libra. And in astrology, this is where my astro readings are moving towards. You can't separate Aries from Libra. They are one and the same thread. They're on two ends of that thread, but they are interconnected. And that's the very message that I'm trying to get across here. Is as much as we feel the need to fight for something, listen to Libra 21. That's across the way. A Sunday crowd enjoying the beach. We're all just here doing the best that we can. And you know what? Sometimes we don't get it right. Sometimes our animals get locked in a room and they end up going to the bathroom on the floor or on our bed. We have literally shit that happens in our lives and it sucks. But we're all trying our best, and we're not always in primo condition. We're not always thinking about basic compassion. But that's what I think this full moon phase from Aries to Aries. It is the beginning of something very, very deep within us that is about using power to bang it out. Like power to just, I'm going to plow you down. I'm just going to pop you and you're going to be out. That level of power is what I think is getting retuned. And it's being, part of it is, we're just all here on this collective beach together, trying our best. Some people are huddled up under an umbrella. Some people are out in their bikinis. Doesn't matter your body image, whatever feels right, you should get to do that. And we're all there together. We're all trying our best. And so by the very energy of, I see you, and pow, I am going to shoot you down. I'm gonna pound you into the ground. I mean, I've literally seen this play out on the soccer field to a point that my own anger and aggression came up like that. It's very powerful, this sort of anger, aggression, power, warrior kind of energy right now. And I'm just asking us to take a minute and take a deep breath, myself most definitely included, to take a deep breath and to say, a Sunday crowd enjoying the beach. We're all in different places. We all have things going on that nobody knows what's happening. We're all trying our best. People are dealing with sudden losses or having the anxiety of starting a new job or a brand new baby, and you aren't getting any sleep and you're trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? Why won't the baby eat? Or the joy of suddenly getting your finances in order, and it's like, boom, it all comes together and you feel this triumph. Think of all the stories, the weaving. This is what I'm talking about, Aries and Libra. Sometimes we are at the top of our game and feeling so powerful. And then sometimes we're just so connected with others and so much wanting harmony and not to be better than another, but to have this forgiving nature. And then knowing the times when we have to put our foot on the pedal and blast ourselves ahead and be a leader. Aries is leadership, and Libra is about harmony. The best we can do is a mix of those two. That's when we're really on top of our game. And so I asked for a wisdom card from Louise Hay's deck called Wisdom Cards. And this I Am Pure Spirit came forward. And on the back of it, it says, I am aware that I am pure consciousness. I am not lonely or lost or abandoned. I am one with all of life. And that's why I think this tuning of this Aries energy in this cycle is is really it's resting heavily on the Libra side because this card is pointing me there. A Sunday crowd enjoying the beach. I am one with all of life. And you don't have to go into that place of like, we're all one and get all kind of, kind of what some people call airy-fairy. I'm a very grounded sort of a messenger. But I just see that there is such a lack of basic compassion in people. And I want to share a story that a very dear person shared with me yesterday when I was talking with her. And it made me and I'm noticing it in myself where I am trying to reset energies. And I'd like to invite you to think about this too. She was talking about being in a store during Christmas time and buying presents. And of course, the lines were ridiculously long. And there was a woman in front of her with her arms crossed and like, oh, long lines again, complaining basically, and with venom. There was a venom in the voice. And that's sort of the low end of Aries. It sees no other way except for its own. It can be incredibly self-centered. That's the low end of Aries. It's a lone journey, like, how dare they do this to me kind of thing. And my friend, it just came over her to say, I know, like, look at the lines, and I just look at the cashiers. They feel so bad. They can't even like look at us because they feel so bad that they can't work faster. They can't get everybody through in enough time. It's overwhelming to them. And in that moment, she put that woman in the shoes of that person. And I'm inviting you to explore this. Whether you're feeling this pugilist, you're going down. You are wrong. You are getting in my way. And I am a warrior and I'm going to pound you. I'm going to pound you. And man, this is freaking nasty when it comes to politics. It is so nasty. Makes me want to vomit what I see. I want you to put yourself in the other shoes when you feel that rise within you. And this is probably the greatest gift you could ever give, is to do like my friend did. And to just notice what's going on. And notice, like the sun and the moon here, notice what the other must be going through and point it out. Really, like, say, in a non-aggressive kind of manner, just on basic humanity. Look at them, they're doing all they can. They can't even look at us because they feel so bad. It immediately deflates the whole situation, and that fire goes from this, and all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, we really are doing the best we can. And some people are freaking overwhelmed. They can't even deal with what's right in front of them. I watched a girl at the movie theater last night totally freak out, verbally, because she couldn't stand that there were two people helping her with food, and she was trying to get the order in for the tickets and whatever. And she just said, I can't do this. It's too much. I need one person on food, and I need to work on the cash register, and that's it. And I just thought, good for you, girl. Like, just clarity in that moment. Wake up and stop the chaos. Wake up and stop the pow, pow, pow. Because what happens when the pugilist enters the ring? You immediately go on the defensive. If you got somebody coming at you with a fist, and you know that punch is coming emotionally, mentally, what have you, God forbid physically, you immediately go on the defensive. We need to come to a place of the Sunday beach. To be honest, that's really what's going on here. But our fire has risen to such a level that it is time for it to be reset. And I'm not saying you can't, embody what really matters to you, But you don't have to do it in a way that you punch it down somebody's throat, and in the process, you make them feel like they are less than an ant. There's no effectiveness there. You've lost any impact that you thought you maybe would have. And the woman like this in the line, how does that even help her feel better? Not to mention all the people around her listening to her gripe and feeling the energy of her energy field. Oh, God. I'd want to get out of there so fast. And do you think those people at the registers can't feel that? Don't know that? We're all connected. The energies are all connected. I am one with all of life. You're not always on your game. So we're at the peak, and this is our crystal for this reading. We're at a peak here. This is my crystal called Peak, and it's from my fire team. This is zeolite, and it is like being on a mountaintop after a strenuous hike, a feeling of accomplishment and being rewarded with a few things that shift you spiritually, a peak experience. There are many things to climb over, but there is tremendous reward as you do so. The exertion is worth the effort. Some steps will have immediate gifts, and some take a bit longer to see the results come forward. It's knowing that you can climb any mountaintop anytime. You simply have to make it your focus. And the focus is this idea of toning the frig down the fire. It is rampant right now, and I can't believe the level at which I'm seeing it play out. And it's been particularly intense over about the past 3 weeks. It is ramped up to such a level that at a freaking high school soccer game, you see it rear its ugly head with literally blood, coming out of your goalie's mouth. Like, oh my gosh, talk about the pugilist. It's time for a redefinition of the pugilist. And the fact that we're all trying to get through, we're all trying our best. And it's all you can do to just try your best. But you don't have to plow somebody down in order to get your point across or in order to get that goal. You don't have to you use your skill to get the ball in the net. You don't plow over another human being in order to do it. That energy, I'm just telling you, is being reset. So get ahead of the game. Get on the peak and start using this skill to your advantage. Start stepping into that other person's shoes. Start trying to find some common ground. Because if the way we've been doing it was working, we wouldn't be seeing what's happening. And it is rampant right now. Its fire is being re-encoded. It is being adjusted. So that's the power of this full moon, okay? So you have 3 choices that I showed at the beginning of the video. And what I think is this is a tool, depending on the card or cards, you can pick more than one, that you pick. I think it's going to be about a way, sort of a tangible way to move towards that Libra 21 feeling of the Sunday crowd enjoying the beach. And just remember, everybody is different. When you go to a beach, everybody takes in that experience differently. You got the woman with her book sitting under the umbrella, clothes, hat, the whole business. You got the young teen who's out in a string bikini, like baking herself. You got the kids in the water with, toys, and you got the boys in the water playing football and beating somebody on the head with it. You've got everything you could imagine. But everybody is just enjoying the experience of being here on the planet. And it isn't about creaming one another. It isn't about punching somebody into the ground. and saying, no, you're wrong. You're wrong, and let me tell you why you're wrong. It's trying to have some compassion. Basic compassion, people. Come on. Like, I just, it's very bothersome to me, as you can tell. I can't deal with it when I see it. People are, they're just forcing their way, and they don't see any possibility, depending on their political party, or if I see one more time calling people snowflakes, or putting up pictures of Trump with a freaking Hitler mustache on, or making fun of him in some other way. It doesn't matter what side. There is a basic humanity that is missing. There is basic compassion for human beings and human living that is missing. And what's coming out instead is this boom, 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 firepower that is doing nothing but breaking everybody down. And maybe that's the point. Maybe everybody has to be punched into the ground, that we all become a little bit more humble. So, as you can tell, this is a charged full moon. It's Aries. And Aries has firepower enough to start the whole zodiac cycle. That's why it's the leader. That's why it's the warrior. It is the kind of firepower that sends that cannonball out of the cannon. It lights the fire under the rocket. It is powerful. But there is a chance to retune here. And that's what I'm asking. Could you just pay attention to your moments of your day? Your little moments make a difference in how you help to retune the energy of fire on this planet, so that maybe we can get to a day where we feel more moments of a Sunday on the beach, enjoying the waves and the sounds and the sun and the sand and the sound of laughter. Maybe there can be a time when we'll have more of those days and less of the pugilist entering the ring with everybody cheering on their guy or their woman, whatever. It's an equalizing kind of energy. And it's the way the planet's going. So get on the peak now, people. That's the basic message. So let's get going. Because I feel so passionate about this subject. And I can't hold my tongue anymore. When I see basic compassion being put to the side, I can't keep my mouth shut anymore. I said that to my husband the other night. I cannot turn a blind eye to that, and I will be vocal. So this is where you're starting to see this part of me. I'm very passionate about this, that we have lost our humanity in the process, and there's nothing productive that comes out of this. So I want productive, positive, forward momentum for everybody that I work with. That's what I'm focused on. And so you can hear the passion in my voice about that and how it affects me. And it affects me at a very deep level. So it's beyond Kat as a person. This is something that soul-wise, I have something to say about this. But I'm also feeling very defeated as I say this, because it's such a big tide. That wave of fire is so strong. It's so strong, but I'm strong. And you are strong in ways that are the new meaning of strong. It isn't about words that hurt and fists that break people and emotions that cripple you and bring you to your knees. It isn't about that. It's about seeing we're all freaking doing the best that we can, and to cut each other a little bit of slack And most of all, to watch how you're using your fire, and is it productive? Or are you just spinning in your own little vortex of power, of thinking that, oh yeah, I got this because I got all the answers. I know you don't. I'm right, you're wrong. No, there's days that other people are right too. So you're getting a mixed kind of feeling from me, because I feel the passion and the absolute truth of what I'm saying, but I also feel this kind of defeated feeling that creates a new level of fire within me, a level of, I want that Sunday on the beach, because I love being amongst that level of variety. Our world on this planet is built for variety, and that we get to express ourselves in any way in which we choose. But when we start using our words like fists in a ring and saying, pow, you're wrong. Let me show you all the ways you're such a freaking idiot. That's when we're taking a step backwards. So just pay attention to how you're using your fire, and can you challenge yourself to alchemically shift that within yourself in how you look at your world and how you express about your world? And can you give the greatest gift of all and help others to see those in the other shoes, those on the other side of that fist? Can you do that too? Those that chose the first card, again, I feel these are going to be messages of how you can begin that alchemical process to adjust your fire. And it's the Empress. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Major Arcana card. The Mother. This is the personification of the planet Venus. The Empress is known as there is more than enough. And what I'm giving with these cards is mindset that can help you, that can pivot you from the pugilist. And I'm going to have my way. And if you don't agree with me, I'm going to break your jaw. Do you feel that edge of that fire? And we can do that with our words. We can do it with our emotions. People do it with spirituality. I see that all the time too. And God bless it, people can do it physically. That's just, they're all heartbreaking to me. But it's how do you shift from this very strong tide of fire to, by the time you reach October 1st of 2020, you are changed. And the Empress has something to say to you, because she is about, there is more than enough for all of us. And we can all be here together. And we can all have a viewpoint. And she just takes them all in. This is very accepting kind of energy. And again, where there is beauty in the differences of people. And the Empress is the great mother of the Tarot. She is always seen sort of as this robust figure sitting there in her gown with all of these pomegranates on it. And that just speaks to levels of abundance and all the wheat that's around her. There's just such ability for harvest, and the forest that's around her. There's just always something new blooming for us. And what if it's blooming for other people too? What if we can consider new ideas, new beliefs, new ways of, being able to change our mind if we want to, and not be ridiculed for it. There's room for all of that with the Empress, okay? That's the direction for you, is a sense of being, the Empress is very much a listener. She's got a nice broad lap, like your favorite Grammy that you could imagine. And you can just come and sit in Grammy's lap, or the lap of the Empress, the beautiful Empress. And there's more than enough time. There's more than enough space. And inquisitiveness that she simply wants to listen for understanding. And that's what you can offer to others, and that hopefully others are offering for you. But if they aren't, the best thing you can do is to be what you want, to embody the thing that you want. I want understanding. I want people to know that this matters to me. And that's okay. And for other people, give that understanding to other people too. We're all on the beach together. Some are out in the blazing sun trying to get a tan, and some are up under an umbrella, and everything in between. And it's all okay. It's when we brutalize each other. It's like she's taking this staff that she has in her hand and like, hell no, I'm not going to listen to you. Pump. You would never, I feel like sacrilegious saying that about the Empress. She would never. There is just this energy of openness. And again, the key term is listening for understanding, allowing the other to talk so that they feel heard. And you giving this energy of the Empress, even if you're not receiving it, to point out the situation of another, the feelings another, I wonder how they must feel, kind of thing. It turns people on their head. They don't know what to do when you do that, but it gets them thinking. Okay. The next card is from the Fairy Forest deck, and this is Sorceress, number 3, Rituals, Power, Will. But the Sorceress is very grounded. And what I feel here very strongly with this card is the unnatural partners that are earth and fire, because this reading is all about fire. That passion, but to the point that it singes and burns down whatever's in its way. That's a power that is overused. And this is a very grounded, embodied kind of power, earth energy. And again, earth and fire are not natural partners. Fire's natural partner, so to speak, in the elementals is air. And then earth and water are partners. And so there's something very powerful alchemically that you could look to over the course of this year through October 1st of next year to embody. And the 3 energy of this card is about getting creative. And do you feel the natural nature of this energy? And this is about what I feel from her is standing in your power. And I see these dark circles under her eyes. She simply is how she is. She's not looking for approval from anybody. She's showing up for her day. Some days she's got dark circles under her eyes, and some days she looks like she's just on point. But she shows up however she is. I think the key term with this card is embodiment of simply, this is who I am. And earth energy is about a solid stability of beingness. It isn't the passion and the drive and the desire that is fire. It isn't the endless wheel of curiosity that is air and communicating, talk, learn. It's relentless when air is sort of overblown. It isn't water that is incredibly comfortable like in the other realms, kind of mystical and very deeply emotional kind of energy. Earth is kind of what we're all looking to perfect when we get here on the planet. And some of us are better at it than others. But this, I feel the message for you is about finding creative ways. And this is going to require some different thinking, feeling, passion, drive, desire, all those other elements. It's going to require some adjustments in that to then say, no, this is who I am. And you can believe that. And I'm believing what I'm believing. And guess what? I am open to shifting just like the earth changes through her seasons and makes shifts as she goes throughout the year. Just like that, you also have the ability to make shifts along your way. You might wake up one day absolutely believing X, whatever that may be, and the next day you might wake up and say, I really don't think that's truth for me anymore. And so I would ask you, what is your truth? And what's coming up for me again, and this has been coming up for a lot of people. I've been listening to Oprah Winfrey's book called What I Know for Sure. And there's something powerful about listening to her read it. And it just made me wonder, what do I know for sure? And I don't know that I could say any one thing because I feel like I'm adjusting myself as I go. And I'm a very different person than I was a year ago or even a month ago. You know, the times are shifting so quickly. And this card, I want to bring this up because I feel like you just have to be willing to say, this is who I am. And some days it says dark circles under the eyes. Some days you're on point, and there's a lot of in between there too. And that's just like the Sunday crowd enjoying the beach. You know, you're not always on point. You don't always have it all figured out. But it's okay to say that too, is what she's telling me. It's okay to say, you know what, I don't know yet how I feel about that. Or I kind of am leaning in that direction, but I wish it was a mix of these two things instead. And so I think I might try that out. Okay? Just be willing to mix it up a little bit. That's going to put your fire off balance. Okay? It's going to be more of, this is who I am in this moment, and this is what I think I believe right now. And to understand that truth can shift because we're always kind of learning more about ourselves and our world is revealing new things to us as we go. That is the whole purpose of being here. Evolution, expansion. Nothing is meant to stay the same. So some days it's a dark circle under the eyes days. And then some days you're on point. And just consider that's true for everybody else too. Okay? The last card is from the Magdalene Oracle. Ooh, boy, you have big potential here. This is the co-creation card. So in terms of revamping or retuning your fire between now and October 1st of 2020, you need to be taking in your world and seeing the purpose and noticing what you notice throughout the course of your day. This is what I feel is the energy of co-creation, is that our world tends to show us the vibration at which the vibration we are offering to the world. I feel like you, and the bigger message of this is you are part of the world as everybody else and everything else is part of the world. And this is pure energy that's coming through for you. It's the fact that there is an interconnectedness. People come into your life, even if it's for a season or a moment, and they are offering you something that makes you more, that leads you along your path of expansion. And then sometimes the apple cart gets upset. It just, boom, everything sort of gets thrown up in the air. And you're starting a brand new process. You're starting a new cycle. And I just love that we've got the heart that really pumps out of this card. And that's the ultimate kind of fire energy there, that red. It is really a retuning of the heart that I feel. and seeing the value and the purpose in the beings and the situations that simply are part of your life. They allow you to hone your experience here, because as you experience tough situations or some of that firepower that I talked about of the pugilist entering the ring, if you've experienced that punch emotionally, mentally, physically, even spiritually, because some people do that too. If you've experienced that, it helps you to get clear on what you believe, doesn't it? And it helps you to kind of know what you don't feel is your truth and what you do feel. And I just, I really sense that it's a good time over this next year in terms of fire to just open your eyes. Look at how gleaming her eyes are. What I'm hearing is open your eyes to the purpose of things that are going on in your experience. And you don't have to get down in the nitty-gritty like, oh my God, I saw a cricket, and so a cricket means this, and so that must mean that. But it's the inquisitive nature of life. Like maybe sometimes you would see a cricket and you'll go look up spirit totem for cricket. Like you might feel that, or it triggers off a really fantastic childhood memory that makes your inner child come right back to the surface in a heartbeat. Just what you needed in that moment. You don't have to be heavy with this. And you also don't have to, I would never recommend that when bad things happen, then, oh, your vibration must be really bad. I'm not saying that either. The challenging stuff is actually what gets you more clear, more resonant in your own vibration, because you realize, whoa, I gotta wake up here. Everything is shifted and I gotta find my way. And as human beings, it is our nature to look for energetic stability. That is a given. It's a given. And so that's what it prompts within you. You don't have to look at it like, oh my God, I must be low vibration. What I'm getting with this is it's about the purity of the vibration you're looking to offer at any given time. And again, like a Sunday crowd on the beach, sometimes we're not always like perfect note all the time. We're not always there. We're not supposed to always be there. If we were, we'd have wings on our back, for God's sake. So it's just about seeing the supportive nature of the people, the events, the happenings around you that are all working to help support you. They aren't looking to take you down, and therefore you don't have to feel the need to fight. Okay? So there we go. Very passionate, and I also feel this a little bit depressed sort of energy, but the potential is there to rise to the occasion, the peak. It's worth it. You take one little step at a time and you climb to the top and you're amazed at what you see. This can be a really magical process. Your process. You're walking up that mountain. And you don't have to run ahead of anybody else. You can have some good conversation along the way. You can walk parts of it by yourself. But everybody's in it together. Everybody's is in this experience together, and we're at different stages. And can we allow that? Can we allow that some people walk ahead faster? Some people have a lot of outdoor wilderness experience. Some people, like me, walk really slow and get very winded. Can we make space enough for all of it? Just like being on that Sunday beach. It's the same thing, okay? It's allowing the latitude for everybody, and to not feel that you have to punch somebody in the face because they don't agree with you. you're having a peak day and they're having circles under the eyes days. It's okay. Like, could you cut them some slack and just keep having your peak day? Watch your own freaking shop. Never mind trying to make everybody else wrong. You go ahead with what you feel is right. Go ahead. You don't have to convince anybody. It's your life. You run it how you want, but it's not your job to run everybody else's life. That's where fire gets overused, gets contorted. And that sort of is this wave that I feel, you know? All right, there we go. Different kind of a reading than I thought I was going to do, but you got to go with it. So I will see you when I see you. I'm not sure if it will be next weekend or not. So until next time, bye-bye for now.